I'm Frank Taylor, and this is Volume 4, talking about the secrets to success. Today we're going to talk about sacrificing. Yeah, I know, that's a hard word for a lot of people, but that's part of it in walking into your greatness. Today we've got to talk about how and what do you mean when you say sacrifice. Well, when you start your own business, or when you're walking into whatever your calling is, or when you're walking into your greatness, part of it is going to be, it's going to come a point when you're going to have to sacrifice for what you want. For example, you say, okay, well, I need to work for somebody. Am I working for somebody, or am I having, that's part of sacrifice? No. I'm talking about walking into your greatness. That means stepping out of whatever you're in. You know, like for example, it's going to be a point where you're going to have to give up that job that you don't like, or the job that you really know that income is coming in. That's part of sacrificing. How am I going to do that? What am I going to do to make that happen? Well, part of that is, I always say, save approximately 6 months of income, then have a plan, or at least I would say establish some clients, or whatever your greatness is, already started touching into that area. So when you walk out of your 9 to 5, shall we say, you're walking right into your greatness, because you basically have set the roadmap, or the business plan, shall we say, to walk into your greatness. I remember a gentleman that I just hired here. He's my assistant, and he stated to me, you know, I'm kind of tired of helping someone else make their dreams come true. I kind of want to make my own dream come true. And that stuck in my mind. That means that I don't want to keep continuously doing things that I don't want to do. I want to walk into my greatness. I want to be the best that I can be. One of those things is a sacrifice. Sacrificing means, people always say, well, I like to tell people about how I made it. Well, if you never went through something, you cannot tell somebody how you got over to that situation. In other words, if you never sacrifice, you can't tell the next man that you can make it, or you can do this. In other words, you have no testimony unless you sacrifice. And that's what I'm saying to you at this point in time. I need you to make sure that you're sacrificing and planning to put things together, because when you walk out and stay in your lane and focus on what you're trying to do, you will make it happen. I remember a gentleman just told me that we hired here. He's our photographer. He said, I'm moving from Cleveland to find my dream, and I'm focusing on what I want to do. I'm focusing on my greatness and walking in my truth. How do I need to do that? Is I've got to give up something. I'm just going to walk away from this job that I don't like, this factory job, and focus on what I feel that I'm great as. And that's how you're going to make it. That's called sacrificing. It's something about sacrificing where at one point you start, I don't know, it just seems that when you say, I'm going to give up trying to do it myself, and I'm going to try to make this happen by allowing the universe to come in and bless me, or God or universe or whomever you call your higher being is. I call him God. But what I'm saying to you is, I remember when I gave up and said, I'm walking on a faith. Check came in the mail unexpectedly. Clients came out of nowhere. I started having students. I started out with nothing, and I said, okay, I'm gonna start with 10 students. I started teaching voice lessons. Next thing you know, I had 50 students. I was charging $50 an hour, and I had 50 students, or 52 students a week. So I said, wow, this can help me walk and do what I really wanted to do. So I had laid a pattern to start, so I could stop worrying about that check that I was worrying about from 9 to 5. That's what I mean by laying the foundation so you can walk out and do what you're called, and to walk into your greatness. Sacrificing. That is so important. I cannot stress telling you that you're going to have to sacrifice. Fear is one of the things we're going to talk about, because that's what a lot of you have, is fear to walk out and walk into your greatness. There's going to come a time, and we're going to continue this. We're going to do a part 2 of this thing called sacrificing, and then we're going to fear. And that's going to share with you how you can be the best that you can be, walk into your greatness, being persistent and consistency, and walking into all of this. And we're going to take away all those doubts, and I guarantee you, after these video series are gone, I promise you, you're going to walk and be the best that you can be in your greatness. Hey, have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning on this big broadcast here. We're trying to make it on this episode here of calling it Sacrificing Today. Tell a friend about this. Put it on your YouTube. Put it on Facebook. Share it with people. I'm bringing some good news, and it's only to benefit you on The Secrets to Success by myself, Frank Taylor. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Peace.